Hi. Happy Sunday. I'm looking for myself on the internet. I'm looking for my space. Okay, here it is. Hi, here I am, and you are here, and we're together. So good. Happy Sunday to you. Super excited to be popping on live. Got lots of things to cover. Hoping that you brought your journal with you. As you pop on, say hello, say hey, let me know you're here. Here we go. Perfect. I did it. Round of applause, Jax. Sorry for my tardiness. I was all set to go. I was ready to hit it. And then I was like, oh man, I left my notebook upstairs. I gotta go upstairs and get my notebook. All my thoughts, all my thinkings. It's all in the notebook. I have so many things that I want to talk about today because we are in some very potent energy at the moment. Having this full moon in Pisces, like right now, like in this moment. But also the eclipse aspect of this cosmic happening. Hi, Deborah. Hello. That is playing a part in this whole thing that's taking place. And we also have, just as overwhelming, it feels like, awareness of heaviness. If you're, hey Megan, hello. If you're someone who's feeling this, and I want to say, it doesn't necessarily have to be heaviness in just an emotional stage. It could be the heaviness that you're kind of feeling physically, like the body just feels heavy. There is a lot of density, heavy energy that is like literally being unearthed and coming up. Hey Cassie, how are you? I can't wait for the blood moon. Yes, literally, it's happening right now. Hey Eleni, how are you? So excited. And so it's just one of these very, 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 very precious and intimate days. It's a Sunday. It's my favorite day of the week. I love my Sundays. But it is a full moon in Pisces. Pisces is all about that emotion. Holy moly macaroni. That's intense. You can't, avoid. You can't avoid the energy that is in motion right now. And you don't want to. I mean, the truth of the matter is you don't want to avoid the emotions right here because they are your greatest tool to knowing where your frequency is. So do not avoid the emotional work. I had a client this morning, beautiful, beautiful client this morning. Literally as soon as I said, hey, how are you? She just melted. It's, to me, it's the greatest compliment when your client gets on the phone, they see you and then all of a sudden they're in tears. You're like, hey, how are you? They just feel so seen and they feel so held, and it's the most sacred thing. You know what I mean? Because this is a client who literally, very professional woman in the medical field. So anyone in the medical field, I see the energy you carry, right? And you work in. She's got beautiful children. She is a single mom, holding it down. You know what I mean? And so to just swoop in virtually and hold her was powerful because it again was just a moment where she just had her release. And it's so important to realize that one, you're not alone. Two, it's like grilled, beaten in us that we cannot have emotions that look like anger, that look like sadness, that look like, anything that's going to trigger another being. Because that's another thing that I was sharing with her is your emotions, they trigger other people. They don't know how to hold space. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to comfort you. And so rather than just, I got to walk away, you feel rejected, right? Evening, I can't stop as I have my grandson, so I'll replay when he's gone. Awesome, Becky. Thank you. So this is a really big powerful moment for us in this full moon energy to allow these emotions to be coming up, allow these emotions to process through you. Most of the emotions are just because they need to be let go. There is not a lot of healing for some of these, but then there are those that are really being brought to the surface so that you can have the awareness of what the hell is going on, where your energy is focused right now, what the frequency is that you're putting out into the world, because you're attracting that frequency. Where you are frequency wise is where you are attracting here in the physical world. I can't stress it enough. I want to stress it even more because we've got 3 ways to change your frequency, the masterclass happening next Sunday. And so this is going to be a conversation, a very deep one next week, particularly because many people how do I know what my frequency is? How do I know actually what my frequency is? Like you keep talking about frequency, that's amazing. How do I know? Where are you focused? When you think about your emotions, when you consider the mental chatter, where is it? Is it of love? Is it of joy? Is it of playfulness? Is it of, yes, I love this life? Or are you really berating yourself and putting yourself down and feeling the frustration and the anger? That's going to show you and tell you where your emotions are. How you feel in your body going to tell you how the frequency is right now, right? So this is a very powerful time. It's a very powerful moon to be releasing in. Pisces is a water sign, so it's all about those emotions. We've got the eclipse happening as well. Holy moly macaroni. If that's not a very powerful, potent time to see the shadows, the things that have been hidden, if you want to say it that way. Shadow is always the ego's way of having its hold on us. And so many people are seeing the aspects of them that they can't keep holding on to, where you gotta surrender, you've gotta let go of the control. Where the victim is holding you back, where the saboteur is getting in the way of your expansion and your success, where the prostitute, another thing that came up this morning, where are you bending over backwards to please absolutely everybody else, but you aren't taking time to do what you got to do for you? Whoa. That's a big realization when it hits you, because it's not something you intended. Trust and believe I know you. Anybody watching me, you're very well advanced. You're very well tuned in, tapped, and turned on. I know you know this. I ain't trying to teach to you. I ain't trying to preach on anything, because I know you know your stuff. Sometimes it just takes someone to go, hey, when's the last time you checked on you? When's the last time you did something for you? When's the last time you sent yourself flowers? When's the last time you took yourself a bath? You know what I mean? Like, just pointing it out. This isn't me trying to teach you. It's just me pointing it out for you, because this is a really big thing. We can get so caught up in all of the things that we are meant to be doing on a daily basis that we can forget ourselves. No more, my friend. No more. Because if you're not liking the way that life is dishing itself out to you, if you're not liking what you're being served, you're the one that needs to put in a different order, which means you're the one that needs to start shifting the frequency. So if you've joined the 3 Ways to Change Your Frequency masterclass happening next Sunday, you and me, babe, we're going to be doing some deep, deep, deep work. It's going to be mental level. It's going to be energetic level. It's going to be emotional level. If you've not yet joined that masterclass, it's $33.33. You've got a link here in the comments. You can go ahead and get yourself all signed up for that. Would love to have you. We've got, oh my gosh, I lost track at maybe over 20 people signed up for this. So it's going to be a really good one. I'm super duper excited about it. All right. Shall we get into this? Not like we weren't already in, Jax, but you know what I mean. Let's go. So here you can expect to get the energy reading for the week ahead. We're talking September 7th today through September 13th. In addition to this full moon that's happening and this eclipse that's taking place as well in Pisces, we have a lot of air is what my guides have been talking about, a lot of air, which lends to a lot of thinking going on. People are really tapping in because they've heard me teach about how September's in 9 months. So that means we're ending chapters. Okay. 9s are always the end of a chapter for the beginning of a new. It is the harvesting. This moon is about harvesting the seeds that have been planted. And I'm talking months and months and months and months and months ago. These could be seeds you planted last year that are finally ready to be harvested. You've nurtured it. You've done the healing around it. You've done the thoughts around it. You've put the things in place. These seeds are ready to be harvested. And so this is going to be a really big time. The guidance that came through around the week ahead. Okay, we're going to take it 1 week at a time as we move ourselves through September. We're ending things, okay? This week's focus is the ending of the mental chatter that's not serving you. I'm going to say it again. This week, the focus is on ending the mental chatter that is no longer serving you. If you are constantly putting your damn self through the ringer, shoulda did this, shoulda did that, why can't I figure this out, why can't I get the answer for that, why don't I know what to do, why am I struggling with this, why didn't I do this thing, why did I let that thing go? If you are constantly in your head, I should be doing this different, I should be farther along, how come I can't get this right, why isn't this taking off, how can I be a better mom, why don't I have any energy? Like if you are constantly up here berating yourself, you're noticing that there's more thinking than there is talking because there's just all this chatter happening. First thing we're going to tell you to do is be mindful of your crown chakra. If your crown chakra is wide open, that means that there is a shit ton of energy that is attempting to make its way into the funnel of the chakra system. And it is going to be overwhelming, overstimulating, scattered thinking, insomnia, unable to sleep, right? We have got to bring our crown chakras into alignment. We have got to bring them in, okay? Boundaries with the way that you are thinking. Boundaries with regards to the things you're thinking about. This is definitely a week to implement some more silent time. It's definitely a week to get into your meditation practice. Meditation practices are the best ways for us to calm the mental chatter, for us to have no thinking going on, for us to experience the space between the notes, if you will. So this week, expect the chatter to be loud. Expect the chatter to be happening, but expect to have the power to control it. Journaling is going to help you get some of those thoughts out of the brain and into the paper, right? When we have a lot of things on our to-do list, when you make yourself a list, you notice that you're no longer constantly in this reminding of self because you've got it written out and you know you can look at it at any time. You're checking things off as you go along. It feels so much more productive and organized. Yes, the same rules apply when you've got these thoughts that you keep having come up on repeat. I want to go back to the masterclass, 3 ways to change your frequency, happening on Sunday. One of the areas we're going to be speaking about is the law of attraction. Like attracts like. If the thoughts that we are maintaining are of a negative tone, that negative energy that starts in the mental space, in the mental area of the auric field, becomes energy that has a very strong momentum. Energy that has momentum long enough becomes an emotion, energy in motion. These are your emotions running through you. And that is what's affecting where you are attracting things into your world. The heart chakra expands you into a receiving mode. You are always in receiving mode. You are a receiving being as much as you are a creative being. So you are going to be receiving. That's never going to break. You are a creator and of the divine. That's never going to be wrong. But if what you're receiving isn't pleasing, it's because the energy you're keeping isn't aligned with where you want to go. So this masterclass is going to support you with changing the frequency so that you start to come on board with the desires that you have, right? So right now, we want to be very mindful of the mental chatter happening, because if we can keep it at that level without it turning into energy and emotion and bleh, we want to make sure that we can catch the thoughts. Now, you have a million thoughts a minute, truthfully, but you're going to understand the tone. Do you understand? You and I are having a conversation right now. You're either tuned in, tapped in, turned on to me, or you're completely turned off. I mean, you know how you feel about this exchange that we're having right now. Right? So when you contemplate the thinking that's been going on, you're going to have an understanding of where it's been at. If it's been heavy, if it's been light, if it's been productive, if it's not, right? If it's felt like it's been all over the place, it's negative, it's heavy, it's yucky. I mean, this is going to be something that you, in your own space, are going to really need to evaluate. Really, truly need to evaluate it. Because in order for you to want more, you got to show up for yourself in a grander way, right? As this month brings us closure, we want to be reminded They were like, remember, it's some stuff you've been wanting to have closed. There's some stuff that's just going to come to the forefront that just needs to be closed. Like, you just, without you wanting it to have some closure, it's going to have closure. There are going to be relationships ending that you just never thought would ever be a relationship that would end. Friendships that will walk away, people that will walk away, partnerships that are going to dissolve. Like, there's just going to be some things that just no longer serve you. And if you know this, then do the action to release. But if you're going to sit with your head in the sand, then these are going to be people or opportunities that will be ripped because the universe is just not going to support what's not for your highest good. It just doesn't support that way. So we can do this with open eyes, or we can do this the hard way, so to speak. We want to move in more flow, which means we are going to be asked to do some more surrendering as much as possible. Surrendering does not mean you give up. That is not what surrender means. Surrender means, for this moment, right here, I'm letting go of the reins. I'm letting go of control. I'm going to surrender inward to the light that I hold within, to the power that I possess within, to the ability to connect to the Creator. I'm going to surrender this. I'm going to take my focal point, the focus, which is my frequency, off of this because it isn't helping me. And I'm going to focus on something that would please me more. This shift is going to make all the difference in your world. Okay? Staying connected to our solar plexus. It's a big week for solar plexus. Big week for solar plexus energy, because that's where our life force energy is. That's where the energy is active within us. And those of you that can read your energy, feel your energy, see your energy, we want to be tuning in and making sure that what we see is bright, expanded, open, vibrant, okay? Or we need to do the energy work on the solar plexus. Right? If you're lacking worthiness, if you're lacking confidence, if you're lacking the ability to connect to yourself, your chakra is closed off, and we really got to do some work on this, because in order for us to be that bright, powerful light here in the physical world, we have got to make sure that we are moving from that inner being self rather than the egoic self. I should do this. I have to do this. Push my way through this. Make sense? All right. I do really feel a lot of inner child work coming to the forefront also for this week. You know, when you evaluate the thoughts that you're keeping or how hard you are on yourself, chances are you're going to be able to go to an inner child moment where you were struggling within the family system, within the school system, within the religious system, your inner child. These are coming up a lot lately. They've been coming up in conversations. They've been coming up in the client calls, my group programs as well. There are a lot of inner child wounds that are coming up for the sake of having the September energy close them off. There is a lot of bringing to the full moon energy, that bright light that is emitted from the moon, right, to purposely shift us, purposely dissolve, right, to dismantle, give me a better word for the transmute, the energy, right? That's true alchemy. The moon supports with such an authentic love that it is absolute alchemy. And so these inner child wounds that are starting to surface for you, some of them you'll understand, some of them will hit you in your dream state. That's very active as well right now. Please pay close attention. Please pay close attention. I don't know why that's a hard word to get out today. My lips aren't moving right. But please pay close attention to the inner child stuff that's coming up, because it's an inner part of you that needs your help right now. It's an inner part of you that needs your reassurance. It's the inner part of you that needs the you as the parent that you didn't have when you were growing up. Okay, this is not a fearful thing to do. This is a very loving self-love, self-activating thing to do. All right, we don't want to rush. There's no rushing this week, not into commitments, not into obligations. We're not running towards anything right now. If it's meant to be for you, it is going to be for you. It can't not be. What's meant for you is always going to be there for you. And you are going to tune into it. You're going to catch the beat of it, if you will, when you surrender enough inward to be able to feel the energy around whatever's being presented to you. When you feel the energy, because the mind is calmed down, your energy has been shifted, you're going to get quicker yays or clearer no's, okay? So being very mindful of that. We were talking about the dream state, and I want to preface this again. It is very active anytime we have full moon stuff, especially as we get closer to Halloween. Like, this is just a thinning of the veil. And so have a journal next to your bed. I've been dreaming like crazy stuff, things from the past, things that have nothing to do with me, people that I just know of that are like there. And these are departed people, by the way. And so it's like all of this energy that's just being presented to give us information, to support us with something, to trigger something within the energy, so that when you are in your awake state, it is something you're tuned in, tapped in, and turned on to, right? So make sure that you are keeping a journal next to your bed for any guidance or wisdom that might be coming through. Let's see. Manifesting. Everyone wants to manifest. Everyone wants to manifest. And I am pleased to tell you the guides were very clear that manifesting is at its heightened right now. So the things that you are wanting to put out into the world, go do those things. Make sure that they are connected to the heart space, because those are the ones that are going to be received by the fellow humans around you. This is going to also be manifestation energy, is also the increase in the sacral chakra. It's the increase in the ability to get creative. So whether this is you, I have a beautiful client that's been into knitting. Like, she's just like, I don't want to do anything but sit here and knit. And stuff she's coming up with is freaking fantastic. Like, I'm just like, how do you know how to do that thing? But this is wherever this creative energy pulls you, go with it, because it's going to be so healing, so supportive, could very much be linked to prosperity as well. So make sure that you are tapping into that creative energy. All right. Sweet. All right. Questions on this full moon, this eclipse, the energy that is moving around us right now. How are you feeling? Are you pulling your hairs out? Like, how are you feeling with this? Because again, staying grounded is going to support you immensely with the energy. Remember, you are a conduit. You're a little conduit, a little funnel of tube, if you will, that connects heaven and earth. So shit's going to be coming up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And how you move with this is going to be so important. So very important. So give yourself grace. Make sure you stay grounded. Make sure you're tapped into the masterclass happening next week, because that is going to be super supportive as well. So there is all of that. Okay, cool. Let's do some card pulls, shall we? Let's do some card pulls. All right, by now you should have seen the post on the page that asks you to tune in and choose a card. ABC 1, 2, 3. We did a little bit of a different pick today to gather some attention, so it worked. Please tune in right now. Remind yourself of which card you chose, or if you haven't chosen one, what feels good to you, what calls to you. 1, 2, or 3. A, B, or C. Suzanne says, there's so much happening around me, it's hard to stay calm. Well, maybe calm isn't actually what's going to be supportive right now. Spiritual bypassing is actually the concept of just fluffing it, loving lighting it, right? Positive vibing it. That's spiritual bypassing. And so if there is a lot going on around you, friend, and I know that you know that I know that there is. Hope you followed that one, because that was really good. Maybe calm is just not the energy right now that you need. Maybe it is tapping into the sacred rage and allowing yourself to feel that, because it's going to unlock another deeper level of passion or self-expression. Maybe it's the grief in the heart space, because you know what? Sometimes this human experience can be pretty shitty. And so there's a soul attached here that's just quite honestly baffled by how the human experience can sometimes be so heavy. Allow that grief to move through you. Allow that to be something that pours from the heart space. Sometimes calm is just our way of, trying to maintain. But you know what? Maybe maintaining's just not it for you anymore. Or maybe you're ready for more. And this is part of opening yourself up to it. I got it. Yes. Okay. Deborah says, girl, number 3, let's go. All right, here we go, friends. This is the card reveals for September 7th through the 13th. For those of you who chose card number 1, you have trust. The trust card comes, and look at, you see how many woven ways there is Trust isn't one of those straight line things. Trust is something that you learn and you integrate, you embody, then you come back to, then sometimes it goes, and sometimes you come back and it's heightened and it's low and it's up and it's down, and it's yes and it's no, and Trust is something, it's a journey of itself. Literally, trust and faith are journeys of their own, but they're a part of the self-mastery journey, right? So when you allow that trust and that faith to be something that is shaken just a little bit, because it always comes with increase, you're going to build that muscle. Right? When you tap into that and you lean into it and you allow it to guide your way, you're flexing that muscle. So for those of you who have chosen this card, the first card, it's trust. And trusting yourself to be more powerful than whatever the thoughts are that you're thinking, trusting yourself to be more powerful than whatever situation is going on right now. Any challenge that you might be looking at, any obstacle that might be in that pathway, know that you are so much bigger than what this is. And when you learn that trust, when you earn that trust from the divine, because you're here as a part of the divine, here in creation mode, so like you've already been entrusted with this beautiful gift called life, no pressure, ever. This is going to help you. This is going to be a guiding light for you. Trust for me comes from the solar plexus. Again, another solar plexus card. This is a root chakra color. This is what grows resources, human experience connections. Root chakra grows, but it's accessed through the solar plexus. Okay? All right. For those of you who chose the second card, you've got Moon. This is your week. This is your event, your cosmic happening. For those of you who chose the second card, take advantage of what's going on today. Take advantage of the energy that's happening right now. Take advantage of the Pisces, beautiful Piscean waters that are just allowing you to purge and to be cleansed and to be detoxed. Sit in visualization. Put yourself in a beautiful, majestic forest. Put yourself in a pool of water, maybe a tub of water, a lake of water, a body of water of some sorts, and just see yourself floating underneath the full moon. Allow that ray from the moon to just penetrate and clear you out and clear it into the waters. These are healing waters if you allow them to be. There's so much activation that's pouring through. And this isn't just, the eclipse is really activating the remembrance within the DNA, the remembrance at a cellular level. Like, this is a very potent and powerful healing experience that is happening right now. So for those of you who chose the second card, it is your time. It is your week to really be clearing shit out. Again, the guidance was around the mental chatter, because that's where everything starts, is at the mind. It could be new emotion-driven mantras or affirmations. Words are words until you put some oomph behind it, okay? Pay attention to that. Okay, card number 3. This is for Deborah. Protection. You've got my gargoyle. My gatekeeper. One of my gatekeepers. Protection. This is regarding, again, the external world and some of the harsh energy that we can find ourselves surrounded by. If we are taking the energy of September and we're ending chapters, if we are in a very sacred space right now where we are purging some of the inner depths of like shadow work or wounds, if we're bringing to the moon some of our really, really, really triggering things right now, we are feeling ever more sensitive, ever more vulnerable, and we really want to be mindful of the protection energy, because as you do this sacred purge, you want to feel safe in being able to do it. If you feel like you're exposed, if you feel like you're in the spotlight, if you feel like you're being judged and criticized every step of the way, this does not promote that true healing. It actually prevents it from happening. So the card itself is around protection. But this makes me feel like environments need to be looked at. If you're going to September, ending chapters, because you're moving into new beginnings, if you're going to step into new beginnings, then we really truly have to know that some things have to go. because they aren't serving us. They're not getting us to where we want to go. There are toxic energies that might be surrounding us that we really truly have to disconnect ourselves from. We have to clear our energy and move those things out, because our new beginnings are always meant to be at a higher level. They're always meant to be something that is boosted to the next version of who you are to become. You want to do this in a very loving space. So protection could very much look like calling in gargoyle energy, so that they can take their wings and just surround you as you are cocooned in a healing experience. Protection energy could just be connecting to the divine light and making sure that that is what you're moving from, that that is what is protecting your energy field from any outside interference. Outside interference just doesn't vibe for this week, because we're so influenced by other people's thoughts and other people's opinions that when we're really working on a mental level, it is about us coming back to what we believe. It's what we know. It is how we are seeing ourselves moving forward, right? The better version of me, always working towards the better version. A healing journey is never done. Yes, you becoming more of who you're meant to be is never going to end. It is always throughout life something that you're doing, something that you're working on. Does this make sense? And so this is going to be a really sacred week. Again, staying in touch with the mental chatter and really evaluating what it feels like in your body. You're going to know if it's good thoughts or if it's not supporting thoughts. How do I shift that? By realizing this isn't supporting me. What if this changed and this happened instead? What would it look like if this wasn't the thing and this was actually the thing? Asking yourself questions. Where there's a question, there's always an answer. The universe is balanced. You can't have a problem and not have a solution. How do we trigger the answers? By asking questions. What if? What would it look like? How can it get better than this? And we wait for the universe to reveal it, because again, there's always an answer. Yeah? Sweet. Okay, super excited. Again, this is a really great day. Be gentle with you. Take a bath. Do that self-care. Letting go so that you can move into more. Never is easy. It's not always comfortable. But I believe in you, and I know that you have the power to shed what no longer serves so that you can step into what will, because you're going places, baby. And I can't wait to see it all unfold before us, before our very eyes. It can be a whole new version of you next week, I promise. Speaking of next week, please make sure you visit the link here in the comments so that you can sign up for 3 ways to change your frequency, the masterclass happening next Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is going to be done via Zoom, so you'll have a replay. It is $33.33. It is going to be so amazing. I feel stuck and need to move forward, Dean says. Yes, many people do. Many people feel stuck. And you know what? Sometimes we're not stuck, and we're not in necessarily a holding pattern, but we are in a state of evaluation. So if you're feeling like you need to move forward, you're going to be supported with that movement forward, but you first got to evaluate where you are, how far you've come, what's being given to you right now with resource or tool to work with, right? This feels super important for you particularly. There is a lot of, what do you want to call it? It's like a coming to Jesus moment is what words are used to describe, if this makes sense. It is a moment where we actually have that realization, but sometimes the realization, it's happening and we're ignoring it. We can't ignore it anymore. Because I don't feel happy in this position. I don't feel happy in this relationship. I don't feel happy at this job. I don't feel happy with my money. I don't feel happy. If I don't feel happy, it's a clear indicator that I have to make some moves, that I have to make some shifts. And in order to make those shifts, I've got to know exactly that's better. Give me a different. We have to feel what's going on right now. And then we have to have a feeling state that feels better, because we've got to know where we're going. You're never stuck. My life symbol is an arrow, because an arrow might be pulled back, but is always launched forward. And when it does, it always hits its mark. It's always moving forward, right? So there's no such thing as being stuck, actually. Being stuck. You're never stuck. It's more about like how you can amp up the energy around where you want to go by getting clear on what needs to leave so that you can move forward from a more aligned state. So helpful. Thank you. You're so welcome. All right, friends. I will see you throughout the week. I'm sure of it. I will see you next weekend for another Energy Week, as well as the masterclass happening. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye, friends.